What's up, y'all? My name is Steve, and this is Near Perfection. I'm just outside of Gatlinburg today, getting ready to go see if I can find the ferry house. It's actually a spring house. It's on the Vorish estate, but it's commonly known here in the Smokies as the ferry house. So, like I say, I'm just outside of Gatlinburg. I'm going to do the Noah Bud Ogle Nature Trail out to the Twin Creeks Trail, and from the Twin Creeks Trail we will be at the Science Center, and then we're going to go see if we can find the ferry house from there. So thought I'd bring you along. You can get to the ferry house a couple different ways. I think from either direction you can get there, meaning that once you come right out of Gatlinburg, you can park at Minette Park, and you can hit the Twin Creeks Trail on that end and take it up to the Science Center, and then go off and find the ferry house. But I chose to go to the Ogle house and park there, and checked out the cabin a little bit, and looked at it, and then I'm taking the nature trail, and this nature trail will take me out to the Twin Creeks Trail, and then from the Twin Creeks Trail I can take it down to the Science Center, and then find the ferry house from there. So there's a couple different options for you if you care to come out and see it. Do a little road walking now. Nice little stone wall here. We'll walk back in here. I think it's back here. This sign back here says fire management. I think you just follow that road and go right on up in through there, and then I think it's back in that area. Well, guys, I'm feeling a little defeated. I walked back this trail and I walked back in there and I followed the signs where I thought it was supposed to be, and I couldn't find it. There wasn't anybody around, so I was gonna ask somebody, where it was at, but there wasn't. There was a bunch of cars and stuff back there, but I didn't really see any rangers or people like that back there. It looks like a science facility, like a working facility. But there was a nice picnic pavilion back there and everything like that. I'm gonna have to research it some more, I guess, and figure out exactly where it's at back in there, and maybe next time we can come from the Minot Park area and hike out that way and see if we can get to it. But I kind of feeling defeated today. All right, y'all. Sometimes the destination isn't what it's all about, I guess. With that one, I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on that and see where I made the wrong turn back there. It was a pretty nice little hike out there. Yeah, I walked about an hour and a half. It was like about 2.5 miles, close to 2.45. So it was about 2.5 miles out there. I kind of walked around a little bit back in there, checking out that area back in there, but that was pretty cool. So I will find it eventually. I will find a fairy house eventually, and I'll bring you guys along. I back at the Bud Ogle house now. I think it's Noah Bud Ogle, I think is the official name of this cabin, but there's a cabin here. Some outbuildings and stuff. It's pretty cool. There's a little pull off there, so I pulled off and then did the Noah Bud Ogle Nature Trail out to the Twin Creeks Trail, and then followed it down to the Science Center down there and did a little walk around there. But I guess, you know, sometimes the destination is not always the joy, and sometimes it's the journey, you know. So that's what we always say, find joy in the journey. So that's what we had to do on that one. And when we do find the fairy house, I will bring you guys along, and you'll get to check it out. So but for now, my name is Steve. This is Near Perfection, and always find joy in your journey. All right, y'all, not so fast. I think I might have figured it out. I went back into town and got some reception and checked out my directions a little bit better, and I think I might not just went far enough around this fence back here, so we're gonna go back here and see if we can find it now. If you do come out here, there's a sign here for this picnic pavilion public area. I think there used to be a sign here that said Science Center too, but I think it's back in this way, so we're gonna go back this road and see. There's a couple little pull-off spots here, so you may be able to just park and then walk back here, which is what I'm going to do right now. I did the hiking trail to get back here before, but I think I'm just going to park there for now. There are a couple parking spots there, so you could probably just park there and then walk back here. You come to this first fork right here, and there's a big house right there. Then you'll just follow this right back here. Just walk on back this road right here. Come up to this sign here. We're back in this area before, and I wasn't sure exactly where to go. Where it says fire management, you follow that back across this bridge here, back into this area back here. Once you come back that road, across those bridges, you see this big barn over here. Supposed to go beside this barn along this fence, and this is where I was at before, but it looked like it was blocked off back here. But I think I need to walk along this fence here, like back in here, then I can turn the corner back here. It didn't look like I could turn the corner before, but I think you can turn around behind this fence. There's not really a clear-cut path to show you back in here. It's kind of hid, and then this is kind of closed off back in here, so I really didn't want to come back in here. But this is saying this is where the fairy house is at. It's back along behind here. There should be a path right behind here somewhere that should be cleared. We're going to see. Here's another path. I bet this leads back into here. I'm telling you, it's not very well marked there. So if you do come back in here, it's kind of an adventure. And here it is. We found it. So you kind of got to know exactly where you're going when you come back in here. You're probably not going to find it because it almost looks like it's cut off, but here it is. We found it. This is actually an old spring house is what it is. So So it was on the Voorhees estate, and it was an old spring house out behind their place. So there's the spring coming out of there, you can see. So, and then here's the, comes out into this little pool out here. So you got a little bit of a view. So there we go. We found it. You kind of got to know exactly where you're going, or you're probably not going to find it, because I think they used to have that cleared off a little bit more down there, but they don't seem to now. So I just had to venture back through there. So, but here it is, the ferry house. So pretty much, unless you know that is there and you can get behind that fence, you probably ain't gonna find it, because it's pretty well sealed off on this side. Weeds and lines and everything has grown up here, so you ain't gonna find it unless you're looking for it. Like that, we're back out. I parked right out here along the road. There is a sign here that says administrative area, no parking without special permit. So I probably wouldn't try to go driving back in there to go to it, but it's not a very far walk back that road. I'm not exactly sure, but it's not even half a mile. So if you're wanting to find the ferry house, y'all, there it is. I guess determination, I finally went back and found it. I wasn't going to be defeated today, I guess. So you can get there from Minot Park, which is the Gatlinburg side of it. You can come up the Twin Creeks Trail, or you can go the way I went today, and go to the Ogle cabin and go out the nature trail there, and then do the Twin Creeks, and it'll bring you right back here. But once I got my directions straight and I came back, I just came back out, parked right here along the road. There's a couple parking spots here, and then you can just walk back this road, and then it's just a little bit of a trek up there, but you have to know where you're going. So you know, shout out to Nick and Rachel on their YouTube channel for their YouTube that gave directions, and they gave really good directions, because if I wouldn't have known exactly where I was going, I wouldn't have made it. But so there you have it. That is the ferry house. So we found it. So now we can roll the credits.